All right, so welcome officially to the course. Thank you so much for enrolling. And this video is just to give you a formal introduction as to what to expect in the course. So we're going to be analyzing how to use the Yoast SEO plugin, and it is expected that you already have some basic fundamental knowledge of WordPress. Ideally, you should have a WordPress website, and you should also be familiar with how to use plugins. Knowing a little bit of SEO is also important so that when we start talking about things like the Google Search Console or keywords, things like that, you should be familiar with such terms. So we're going to start off with the very basic configuration of Yoast SEO. But we'll take a look at how we can perform some basic functions like writing meta descriptions for our homepage, writing snippets. We'll take a look at indexing as well. And then we'll move on to a bit more advanced functionalities like how we can fix broken links using the Yoast SEO plugin. And then in the final section, we'll take a look at how we can write better content for our audience using the Yoast SEO plugin. So I hope you have a lot of fun taking the course, and if you have any questions along the way, always feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much, and let's get started. Alrighty, welcome to this series of tutorials where I am going to show you how to use the Yoast SEO plugin. And without doubt, the Yoast SEO plugin is one of the greatest WordPress plugins of all time. And there are many people out there who will swear that it is the greatest SEO plugin for your WordPress website. I tend to disagree a little bit. It is a fantastic plugin, no doubt, but in my opinion, I just prefer the SEO by Squirrely plugin. But nevertheless, the Yoast SEO plugin is still an amazing plugin for WordPress SEO. And you cannot go wrong if you decide to use this plugin to boost your SEO. So it is by Team Yoast, and as you can see, over 3 million plus active installs. So that pretty much tells you just why this is a freaking amazing plugin. It has over 10,992 5-star ratings. So the proof is in the ratings and the active installs. So I'm going to show you how to install and do basic configuration for the plugin in this very first video. Now, I have already installed and activated the plugin, so please go ahead, download the plugin, and then install and then activate the plugin. Now, when you do that, you should see SEO over here. You may not see 2, you may see something else, but what you want to do is to click on the dashboard where you have SEO, click on dashboard, and then what you're likely going to see is you're probably going to see some sort of message that says you're new to SEO, click here to configure the plugin or something like that. Now, the reason why I am not seeing that is because I have already previously installed this plugin on this particular site before. So the message I see here is a little bit different, all right, but you should see something like start the configuration process or something like that. So click in there and you should see something very similar to this. All right. Now, what you're going to do is to click on Configure Yoast SEO. So I'm going to click that. And first things first, we have to specify what environment we are currently installing the plugin on. Is it a production environment, which means it's a live website? There are people actively on your site right now, reading your post and checking out your content. Or is it a staging environment where it's a copy of a live site used for testing purposes only? Or it is a development site? So for me personally, mine is going to be a production site. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that. Go with next. So what kind of site is this? So you have to answer the question. Mine is a blog. I'm going to do that. I'm going to click next. And then, are you a company or a person? Well, I am a person, and my name is Alex. I'm going to click next. And social profiles. Now, I don't have any social profiles for my test site. So if you do have Facebook pages for your own business website or your blog, whatever, this would be where you would add them, okay? And add as many of them as you possibly can. If you have profiles on all these social media platforms, good for you. Go ahead and add all the URLs, all right? Very, very important. I'm going to click next right here. All right. Next up is the post type visibility. Now, please specify which of the following public post types you would like Google to see. Now, I am going to assume that you want Google to see your posts, and you also want Google to see your pages as well. And for media, well, it will depend on you. You can go ahead and choose visible, but the default for Yoast is hidden, and I would recommend you just stick with the defaults for here. So I'll go ahead and click next. And then, does or will your site have multiple authors? Again, this depends on you. Mine isn't, so I'm just going to stick with no. Click next. And now we have the Google Search Console. To allow Yoast SEO to fetch your Google Search Console information, please enter your Google authorization code. So if you do have your Google Search Console, this would be a good place where you can add your verification code. All you'll have to do is to click on Get Google Authorization Code. So you click in there, and now from here you can choose your account, and then you say allow Yoast SEO to configure, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this code right here, and I am going to paste that in here, authenticate. And then from here, I'm going to click on next. Now in here for the title settings, well, my website name is Wordpress SEO, and you don't have to change this. You can leave this as it is. You can always change it later. The title separator is set to this by default. Again, I would recommend you just leave it as it is. You don't really need to change anything in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then you can choose to sign up for the Yoast SEO letter, which I would recommend that you do because they do send you some really, really good tutorials. Just add in your name, your email, and then sign up. I have already signed up, so I don't need to do this again. And I'm going to click on next. And there we go. We've pretty much finished the basic configuration for the plugin. They do have, again, some other fabulous tutorials in here where you can learn about copywriting, learn about the Yoast SEO Premium plugin, and also get some free videos for WordPress training for Yoast SEO. But I'm just going to go ahead and click next, and you've done it. So Yoast SEO will now take care of all the needed technical optimization of your site. And that's pretty much it. We have successfully finished the basic configuration for Yoast SEO. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Join me in the next class where we will now begin to perform some technical SEO using the Yoast SEO plugin. I will see you then. Okay, so now that we have this bad boy plugin installed, it is time to register our site with the Google Search Console. And if you don't know what the Search Console is, it is a very, very powerful service with which you can manage your SEO for your website. You can monitor your traffic, find out what keywords are performing well. It's basically, it is a service that you cannot do without. So you must have an account with the Search Console, and it is very easy to sign up for one, okay? As long as you have a Gmail account, just go to Google, make sure you're signed in, go to Google, type in Google Search Console, and click on the very first link, and it should bring you to a page that looks like this, all right? So what you want to do here is just to click on add a property, all right? And then I am going to copy my URL, and I'm going to paste it in here, and I'll click on add. So now we have to verify that indeed that's our website, and we are who we claim we are. So I'm going to click on alternate methods, all right? And then from here, I'm going to click on the HTML tag option, and then I am going to copy everything in here, the code that we have in here. I'm going to copy that, all right? Now I'm going to go back to my website, and now from here where we have the SEO general page, I am going to click on the Webmaster Tools, and then I am going to paste that code in here. However, I am going to delete everything with the exception of the actual code itself. So I am just going to leave where we have the numbers and the letters as well. I will delete everything else. And there you go. So note that the quotes themselves, the double quotes too, have been deleted. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and click Save Changes. All right, and I am going to go back to my Search Console, and now I am going to click on Verify. And there you go. Congratulations, you have successfully verified your ownership of that. So that's pretty much how you would connect your site to the Google Search Console. Now, it should be noted that it's going to take a few days, maybe a couple of days, maybe 3 days before you start getting some data being populated on your Google Search Console. So be patient about that. But that's how you would connect your website to the Google Search Console using the Yoast SEO plugin. Thank you for watching, and of course, I will see you in the next class. Alright, so previously we were able to successfully connect our site with Google Search Console, and now next would be to write a home page snippet, or otherwise a meta description for our home page. Now, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here we have Gold's Gym, and you can see right now that we do have the main title, Gold's Gym, Home Fitness Gym, but then you can see we also have the meta description that says, Gold's Gym is where you go to know your own strength, join a gym today, and be stronger with workout plans, classes, fitness tips, fitness webinars, and more. So you can tell from this snippet or this meta description that it has lots of the keywords that you would normally associate with a gym. First of all, we have strength, we have gym, we have workout plans, classes, fitness tips, fitness webinars. So what you really want to do with your own meta description and your title is to ensure that you have your keywords in both of them, but also make sure that the meta description actually makes sense. Don't just go in there and begin to stuff in all your keywords in there. It has to make perfect sense. So to do this with the Yoast SEO, what you want to do is to go to your features tab in your dashboard. And then from here, you want to click on enabled under the advanced settings pages, enabled, and then we can save our changes. And now let's go to the titles and metas. You're going to see that. Click over there. And from here, you want to click on home page. All right, so you should see something like this. We have our title template with the default layout, and then we have an empty meta description template. So what I'm going to do right now is I already have some content right here. Let me just paste that in here. All right, so I have SEO Taskopedia, which is the name of my site, and then I have WordPress SEO tutorials. Now, obviously, my keywords here are WordPress and SEO. So I have both of them in my title template. And then for the meta description, I've also written down something over here. I'm going to paste that into the box. So it says SEO Taskopedia is a website dedicated to teaching everyone about WordPress SEO. Learn SEO tips and tricks. So again, I have my WordPress and I have my SEO inside the meta description, but it also makes perfect sense. Okay, you don't see WordPress SEO, WordPress SEO. That's not that's not the meta description. Okay, your meta description has to make sense, and also make sure that your title is between 45 and 55 characters, and then for your meta description, it is between 145 and 155 characters. So I'm going to go ahead now and save this. Now, here's the thing, okay? You don't want to go over the 155 words for the meta description or the 55 characters for the title. It is better to be under than go over these maximums. And one very quick way how you can tell whether or not you've typed in enough or you've typed in more than enough characters is to go to any one of your pages. In fact, let's add a new page right here. And then I am going to just copy the title from here. All right. Oh, my right click is not working. Okay, it's working now. Copy. And now what you want to do is on every new page that you add, you will see the Yoast SEO box over here. All right, so from here, what I'm going to do right now is to click on edit snippet in here. All right. And then I am going to paste that for the SEO title. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing for the meta description as well. Right click, copy. Let's go back in here. And then I am going to paste that. All right. So from here right now, you can see we have orange. What this simply means is that we haven't written enough. Okay, we can write some more words as well. And it's always a good idea to take advantage. Okay, so type in more words. So for the meta description, I can come in here right now and say, learn SEO tips and tricks. I can add a comma and then say, WordPress SEO tutorials. All right, so now you can see it's turned green. That means that we are fine. Okay, we can stop right here, but you can see I still have some more space, so I can actually go ahead and keep on adding some more words if I wanted to, but that's okay. For the SEO title, that's what I have over here. I have SEO Taskopedia WordPress SEO tutorials. I'm just going to say WordPress SEO tutorials and courses. All right, so you can see right now we do have SEO Taskopedia WordPress SEO tutorials and courses, and then we have the meta description. SEO Taskopedia is a website dedicated to teaching everyone about WordPress SEO. Learn SEO tips and tricks, WordPress SEO tutorials, and much more. Let me just say, and much more. Full stop. All right. So there you go. Both are green, which means we are fine. And from here right now, I can just simply copy what I have over here. And just copy that, go back to my metas and paste that in here. Okay, and then for the title, it was and courses. All right, I'm just going to come in here and say and courses. So that's it. I'm going to save my changes. And there you go. So we've successfully written our homepage snippet. Bear in mind, though, that this is something that you would have to do for every page that you have on your website, and also every post, especially posts. Posts are very, very important, and it is more than likely that people will be searching for content that is contained in your posts rather than what you have in your pages. So that's how to write your homepage snippet using the Yoast SEO plugin. Thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you in the next class. One of the best ways how you can increase the click-through rates for your posts would be to show their published dates in snippets, because this helps to keep your content looking fresh. And then Google also uses the post modified dates, which you can add to the top of your posts. And then every time you update a post, Google will use the current day. So as an example, let's take a look at some links over here. I do have the best SEO tutorials in my search box. And you can see we have some links right now. You can see we have the dates. We have February 4th, 2017. We have August 5th, 2016, February 16th, 2016. There's one here with no date. There's another one here, December 18, 2015. So you're more than likely to click on the links that have dates associated with them, especially if the dates are close enough. You're not likely going to click on an article that's dated 5-6 years back, but if it's this current year, if it was last year, it was 2015, you're more than likely to click on such articles as opposed to clicking on articles that have no dates associated with them. So how you can enable the date in your snippet preview would be to go to your Yoast SEO. Under titles and metas, you want to go to post types. So you click on post types, and then you're going to see the date in snippet preview over here. Go ahead and click show. All right, click show. You can do the same thing for your pages and your media, but it really depends, especially pages, because most of the time people search for content in Google. It's very often content that you would find in posts and not pages. So this really is going to depend on you. Me personally, I will leave both on hide. So I'm going to save my changes. And then from this point on, Google will always display the date of my posts in the snippets. Now, one question you might have is, okay, but what if I end up updating a post? What if I wrote a post last year and now this year I have updated it? How can I get that to be reflected? Well, there is an awesome plugin that you can use. The plugin is called the Post Updated Date plugin. It is by Ataul Ghani. Now, what this plugin does is that it simply displays on the front end, it simply displays the date that the post was updated, right? So you can go ahead, download the plugin, install it. You don't need to do any configurations at all. And the way it works is this, all right? I have already installed and activated the plugin. So I'm going to come over here to posts. And let's click on, let's see, what do I have over here? I do have one of my posts over here. This was published 28th of April, 2017. So I'm going to click on edit. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now would be to just press the space bar and pretend that I'm actually updating this. I'm going to go ahead and update the post. And from here right now, I'm going to go ahead now and click view post. And now you can see I have the date here that says last updated on May 4th, 2017. So that's how you would use this plugin. Again, you don't need to do any configurations at all. Everything happens automatically. So that's how you would enable the date on your snippet previews, and also to show the last time your post was updated on the front end. Thank you so much for watching. All right, so let's talk about something very, very important, which is indexing. And indexing generally means content, whether it's your pages, your posts, or your media, that you want Google and other search engines to be able to discover. So when a content is indexed, that means it's been made possible to be discovered by search engines. Now, it's not all the content that you have on your website that you want to be indexed. Some you want to be indexed, while others you don't want them to be indexed. Now, to go about configuring this properly, let's come down here to titles and metas, okay? And then from here, I'm going to click on post types. Now, make sure that for the meta robots, post has index, all right? For pages, make sure it also has index. For media, make sure it also has index as well. By default, they're all set to index, but just make sure that that is the case. However, if you come down here to taxonomies, your categories and tags are also set to index, and very often you don't want this to be the case. You want to set your categories and your tags to no index. Now, a question you might have here is, okay, well, should I always set no index to my categories and tags? And the answer is, there is no straightforward yes or no answer to that question, all right? If you're running a typical blog where your category and your tag pages only contain excerpts from belonging posts, then the answer is no. You shouldn't allow search engines to index your category and tag pages. Now, if on the other hand, if you have unique content to those category and tag pages, then the answer is yes, you should index them for better SEO. The chances are you are not going to have unique content on your categories and tags. They're basically going to contain the same content from your posts that have those categories and tags. Now, the reason why it's generally a bad idea to index your categories and tags in such a scenario is because you're going to make it look like you're trying to fool Google into thinking that you have several content out there, when in fact it's just duplicate content. So let's say, for example, you have a post about WordPress plugins, all right? And it's under a category of plugins. Google has already indexed the post that contains the information about plugins, right? Now, if you choose to index the categories as well, Google is going to see the same content again in your categories called plugins that contains that post. It's going to see the same content all over again, and then Google can start thinking that, hey, this guy is trying to fool me. This guy is trying to make me think that he has so much content when in fact it's just duplicate content. So that can lead to serious penalties, and you don't want that. So generally, in most cases, you should set your meta robots here to no index for your categories, no index for your tags as well. And for format, also make sure that it's set to no index. So let's save our changes in there. And then you can go to archives as well. Let's see, what do we have over here? So by default, date archives is set to no index, which is good. You don't want to enable that. And then finally, under other, you can choose to also no index subpages of archives. This is something I tend to do regularly, so I'm going to do that. And while we are on this page, let me just tell you that meta keywords, Google and other search engines do not use meta keywords. So don't ever think of coming in here and enabling meta keywords. You might think that, hey, having meta keywords is great. No, it's not. So you can even see the message here. It says, I don't know why you'd want to use meta keywords, but if you want to, enable this. So the meta expression over here, I don't know why you'd want to use this. That should tell you that it's very often not a good idea to enable meta keywords. So keep this on disabled, change the subpages of archives to no index. Let's save our changes, and we're pretty much done with indexing. So if you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching the video, and as always, I will see you in the next class. All right. Alright, so let's take a look at how we can submit a site map to Google and other search engines. And this is very, very important. One of the most important things that you should do for your SEO. Now, what exactly is a sitemap? Well, a sitemap is a file, basically, where you can list out all the pages on your site to tell Google and other search engines about the general organization of your site content. Alright, so search engine web crawlers like the Google bot can read this file to more intelligently crawl your site to be able to get a better information of what your website is all about and the kinds of content that is contained on your site. So a sitemap is very, very important, very, very useful. Now, to generate a sitemap and to submit it to Google, all you have to do is to come over here to XML sitemaps. All right, so let's click in there. And from here, you want to make sure that the XML sitemap functionality is set to enabled. All right, and we can find the sitemap by simply clicking on this link over here. So I'm going to click there. And now you can see this is the sitemap for my tiny website. Yours will probably have a lot more lines than this. Now, to add the XML sitemap to Google, what you want to do is to go to your search console. All right, and from the home page, you should see the link to your site. Click on the link. And now over here on the left, you will see crawl. Just in case you don't see this, you can click on crawl. But you should see what we currently have right now, where we have crawl errors, and over here to the right you have sitemaps. So what you want to do right now is to click on sitemaps. All right, and now from here you're going to click on add test sitemap. So what I'm going to do right now is to copy what we have over here. Let's copy that, and I am going to paste that inside this box, and then I'm going to click on test. Test complete. Let's view the test result, and we passed. Yippee! All right, so I'm going to close the test right now, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to paste it again, and then this time I'm going to click on submit. Item has been submitted. Let's refresh the page, and there you go. So you should see pending. All right, this will take a while before this is actually approved, but you can do the same thing too for Bing and Yandex as well if you are interested in getting to rank your site there as well. Very, very important. So this is how you will create a sitemap and submit it to Google. Thank you so much for watching the video. And oh, by the way, before I go, let's talk about something over here, okay? Go back to your XML sitemaps. I nearly forgot about this. Now, what you want to do here is, just like with indexing, it's not everything that you want to show in your sitemaps, okay? Typically, you want your pages and your posts to show up in your sitemap, but not other things like your tags. You don't necessarily want to show that in your sitemap. So what you want to do is to go to post types first of all. Make sure your posts and pages are in your sitemap, okay? If you have any posts that you'd like to exclude, specifically, you can come in here and add the IDs, but then go ahead and click on taxonomies. All right. Now over here, you can choose to leave your categories in your sitemap. That's fine. However, for your tags, I am going to recommend setting this to not in sitemap, and in format, also setting this to not in sitemap as well. That's usually, from my experience, this tends to be a lot better for your SEO. All right. So let's go ahead now, save our changes. And that is it for XML sitemap. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next class. All right. So next up would be to talk about social media. And of course, social media plays a crucial role in our SEO, because the more people that share your content on social media, the more traffic you're going to get, and the more your rankings and search engines will increase. So with Yoast SEO, you want to make sure that your social media features are enabled. So what you want to do is to click on social, right? Click on social over here, and then make sure that you have your profiles, you have the URLs all added for your Facebook, your Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, MySpace, and whatever else you may have. Make sure you have them in here. Now for Facebook, you want to make sure that the add open graph metadata is enabled. All right. Now, with this, you can control the kinds of description that your posts will have and the kinds of images they will have when they are shared on Facebook. So from here as well, you can also set a specific title and description for your home page should your website be shared on Facebook. So what you can do is if you've already written a good meta description for your homepage, you can simply click on copy home meta description, and that will automatically populate this box here with your homepage snippet. You can also add your title in here as well. So I'm going to go with SEO Taskopedia, and then I can say something like learn about WordPress SEO, and then you can also upload an image as well that'll be used specifically for your homepage whenever it is shared on Facebook. So you can do something like this. I can click on upload image, and I do have different images over here. I'm just going to go with WordPress over here and just use this one. Use the image, and then you can also set a default image should in case you have any post on your blog that doesn't have a featured image. The image you upload in here will be used as a backup, so you can go ahead and do that as well. Now for Facebook Insights, I heard, and this was from Yoast themselves, that Facebook no longer is accepting new domains for Facebook Insights. So, but nevertheless, you can still do a lot, so it's not the end of the world. So I'm just going to go ahead and save my changes. So that's for Facebook. You can do the same thing too for Twitter as well, okay? And then you can also register for Pinterest if you do have an account with Pinterest, and then of course for Google Plus as well. Make sure you do all of these things in here. All right, now once you've enabled this for your Facebook, what you want to do is to go to any one of your posts, and if you come all the way down here where you have the Yoast SEO, you can click on the social icon over here. All right, click on the social icon, and then you will see Facebook and then Twitter. All right, so if you've also created an account with Pinterest and you've registered Pinterest with your Yoast SEO, you will see the icon in here as well. So for Facebook right now, for each specific post, you can write a customized title, and then you can also write a customized Facebook description as well. And of course, you can also upload a Facebook image that will be used specifically for Facebook only. And then the recommended image size here is 1200 by 630. And then the same thing for Twitter as well. You can add your own Twitter title, description, Twitter image. Make sure that these are well optimized, okay? Make sure that they are well optimized with your keywords as well. And of course, make sure that the descriptions and the titles actually make sense. And also upload good images that are very, very attractive, images that would want people to click on, okay? So that's it for the social media with Yoast SEO. Thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you in the next class. Let's talk about permalinks with the Yoast SEO plugin. And for the most part, the plugin actually does a very good job of managing your permalinks. But there is one thing I would recommend that you change with this plugin. And to do this, let's go to advanced. All right, and from advanced, click on permalinks. Now you will see the clean up permalinks section, and then over here by default the stop words in slugs has been set to remove. Now what this does is it will remove all the stop words from your permalinks automatically. So stop words like up, with, to, off, is, words like that, they will be removed from your permalinks. Now, some people don't care, all right? Some people don't care that this happens, but I care, and I would recommend that you manually edit your permalinks yourself, because the Yoast SEO plugin isn't very intelligent in this regard. All it's going to do will just be to remove every stop word. It doesn't care if the permalinks look funny. So in an instance where you should have a permalink that says how to change a plugin, you may end up having something like how change plugin, or just change plugin, or something weird. So it's not often a very good idea to leave the plugin to handle this, because like I said again, it's just going to end up removing every single stop word. So I would recommend that you keep the stop words in your slugs, and then you manually can now decide to go to your individual posts and edit the permalinks yourself. So again, it's up to you. Some people don't care about this. They will just go ahead and remove all the stop words, but I would recommend that you actually keep some stop words, and make sure that the permalinks actually make more sense. All right, so I'm going to save my changes, and that's pretty much it for permalinks. All the other default settings here are fine. You don't need to change anything in here. Although some people would argue that you should also strip the category based from your category URL. And honestly, I haven't particularly seen any major advantage of doing this, so I'll just leave this on keep. For breadcrumbs, let's talk about breadcrumbs very quickly. If you have some experience inserting functions into your functions.php template or any one of your page templates, you can go ahead and enable breadcrumbs as well, all right? So it does help with SEO to a small extent, but if you don't have any experience working with your template files or adding code to your WordPress template files, and I'll just recommend that you leave this disabled as it is. So that's it. Very quick one for the permalinks. Thank you so much for watching the video. All right, so let's talk about using the bulk editor with the Yoast SEO plugin. Now, the plugin has a wonderful feature, which is the bulk editor, with which you can bulk edit the titles of your posts as well as the meta descriptions all in one place. Now, to access this bulk editor, click on your tools. All right. And then from over here, you're going to see bulk editor. So let's click in there. And now from here, you are going to see all the posts that you have. And from here, you can begin to edit the SEO title. You can add your new title in here as well. But we also have the description tab over here that you can click on. And from here, you can now add your new Yoast meta descriptions as well. And you can add them all in one place. So this is pretty much how you would use the bulk editor. It saves you time rather than having to go to each individual post and then writing out your meta descriptions. You can simply come in here and then begin to add the individual meta descriptions for each post as well as their individual SEO titles as well. And then once you're done, simply click on save or just click on save all if you've done everything already. We also have other tools. Besides the bulk editor, we also have the file editor as well. So you can click in there. And from here, you can configure your .htaccess file. You can create a robots.txt file as well. But these are some pretty advanced stuff. So unless you know exactly what it is that you're doing, I would recommend that you just stay away from editing your .htaccess file. It is a very, very, very sensitive file. Let's go back to the tools page. And finally, we have the import and export. And with this setting right now, you can import all your Yoast SEO plugin settings from another website onto your own. Or you can do the opposite. You can simply export your own settings so that in case you have another WordPress website with the Yoast SEO plugin and you don't want to have to begin to go over the same configurations all over again, you can simply export your own settings in here and then import them in the new website. And then you can also import from other SEO plugins. I haven't personally used this feature before, so I really can't tell you precisely how effective it is or how it works. If you're interested in this, you can always take a look at some other tutorials online and see what people have to say about this. So that's it for the tools, the Yoast SEO tools. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next class. All right, so let's take a look at another very useful feature that you can use with the Yoast SEO plugin, and that is the ability to recognize and then fix crawl errors, broken pages that you may have on your WordPress website. Now, broken pages can have a huge impact on your SEO negatively. So you want to make sure that you don't have any broken links on your WordPress website. Now, for the Yoast SEO, you can do this by simply clicking on the Search Console tab right here. Click on Search Console and you should see it's loading, mine is loading. All right, so now you should see, well, I hope you don't see anything like this, because if you do, well, that means that you have broken links. All these that you see right now are broken links. You can see they are 14 in number, and we have the response code, which is 404, which means that the page is actually broken. So there are a few different ways how you can fix this. If they are really broken and you don't have those pages anymore, you can simply just click on the checkbox right here, and then you can go ahead and simply click mark as fixed, or you can simply choose to create a new redirect so that whenever anyone visits this old link, they will be redirected to another link. The problem though is that when you click on create redirect, well, it turns out that it is a Yoast SEO premium feature, but not to worry, there are some other plugins out there that you can do this for free. One will be the quick page post redirect plugin. It is very, very useful. You can try this one out. You can also try another one. This is the one that I actually use. It is called the broken link checker plugin. So with this plugin, you can identify broken links, broken post links, page links, images, and then you can either choose to mark those links as fixed. You can create new redirects for them, or you can simply just delete them all together. So I would recommend you check out any one of these two plugins and then use them to correct any broken links that you may have. Also, you want to make sure that you click on smartphone as well. Make sure that you don't see any errors in here. Feature phone. And then finally, on the settings, well, if you didn't see any one of these options in here to fix broken links or things like that, it may be because you haven't yet authenticated your website with Google. So you will see something that says authenticate your website with Google or something like that. But because we've already done ours, we have our current profile, and you can see that I have the option of re-authenticating if I wanted to. And of course, they do have an article in here where you can click on that will tell you how to connect your website to the Google Search Console. So that's it for fixing crawling errors with the Yoast SEO plugin. Thank you so much for watching the video, and as alright, so this is going to be the final video in this particular section where we've talked about the advanced and technical aspects of the Yoast SEO plugin. And I wanted to use this opportunity to talk about a few things before we delve into the next section where we will focus in on how to use the plugin to write better content. And these few little things are in your general tab. Okay, and now over here, well, you have three different options. The very first one would be to open the configuration wizard. This was pretty much the very first thing that we did initially, where we configured the Yoast SEO. So if there's anything that you wanted to change, you can do so in All right, so welcome to what is technically a brand new section where we're going to focus on how we can optimize our content for SEO. And now over here, you can see I do have an article titled 7 Top Tips for WordPress Security. And this is a real article with real content. But you will notice that to the right over here, I do have something called the readability score from Yoast, which is okay. But then I have the SEO score, which is not available. And the reason why the score is not available is because we haven't provided a focus keyword or keywords, all right? So that's the very first thing we need to do. So I'm going to do that by coming all the way down here. And you're going to see the box here that asks you for your focus keyword, all right? So I'm going to go ahead now and type in, let's see, tips for WordPress security. This would be the long tail keyword phrase for this particular article. All right, so now you can see that the score has now turned to orange. You can see over here as well, it's now in orange. And typically with Yoast SEO, you have 3 different coloring that will indicate different levels of optimization. Red means very bad, orange means okay, while green would mean good. All right, so we should be able to get this article to get to green. Right now it's on orange. So let's see what we're doing wrong. First of all, it says no meta description has been specified. Search engines will display copy from the page instead. Now, I know you can see something above here that says the focus keyword contains a stop word. This may not be wise. Ignore things like this whenever you see that, okay, having stop words in your our focus keyword isn't important anymore. Stop words are usually words like in, at, off, for, kind of like prepositions and stuff like that. Don't bother yourself anymore because Google and other search engines are very flexible. They're very adept at reading focus keywords that contain stop words. So don't worry about this at all, okay? Let's focus on the ones that are red. So over here we have no meta description has been specified. And of course, we know how important meta descriptions are. So what I'm going to do right now is over here I do have the snippet preview, so I can go ahead now and click on edit snippet. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to copy something over from what we have over here. Let's see what we have. I'm just going to go ahead now and copy this particular sentence. I'm going to come all the way down here. I'm going to paste that. Now, of course, we know that in our meta description, we should have the focus keywords, all right? So we have, let's see, what do we have? Oh, actually, you can see right now that the score has actually turned to green already. So just simply copying that particular sentence that contains our keywords and applying it to our meta description has now made our score turn to green. But nevertheless, we can still improve on this. Let me just go back again. And let's see what we have. All right, never mind. Let me just come over here right now and say, in this blog post, we're going to offer you 7 major tips for WordPress security. You can see we still have a lot more space to write some more words. And let me just say, cybercrime is a big deal. And that is why in this blog post, we're going to offer you 7 major tips for WordPress security. That's okay. So I can close the snippet editor right now, and you can see right now that tips for WordPress security has now been boldened. We have that in the meta description. Awesome. So what else is in red? No internal links appear in this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. All right. So one of the best ways how you can improve your SEO score in general is by keeping people on your site. Don't let them leave. And of course, one of the best ways is to add internal links to your articles. Whenever applicable, try to link your current article to another article that you may have written. So let's see what we have over here. Let me say, I'm just going to go ahead now and highlight this particular sentence over here. And I am going to link this. All right. I'm going to link this to another one of my articles, how to make WordPress website SEO friendly with plugins. Let's do that. Open link in a new tab as well. Add the link. Okay. Now, of course, for this particular example, this this doesn't have anything to do with SEO. I'm just telling you that whenever you're writing your articles, try to link them to previous articles that you may have written in the past. So we've done that, and now you can see that we no longer have red for that because we've actually introduced one normal internal link, which is awesome. So a few other things that we can do is to add the alt attributes for our images. Okay, so right now I actually don't have any images in here, but I do have the featured image over here. So what I can do right now is to click on it, and I am going to add an alternative text, and I'll just say tips for WordPress security. All right. Generally, whenever you're using featured images for your posts, try to add your focus keyword or your keywords as the alt text for the featured image. All right. And for the title, let me just say tips for WordPress security as well. Although this isn't technically important for SEO, it's still good to have a decent title. So let's do that. And let's see what we now have over here. Okay. So the remaining ones aren't necessarily that important, and I need to let you know that you should not become obsessed. Okay, we're trying to get everything here to turn green. It is not important. As soon as your score is now green, you are okay. All right, your SEO score is good. It's good. Don't bother about trying to get everything to green. If you can't get them to green, then don't bother. All right. Like for example, over here right now, it says the keyword density is 0.4%, which is too low. The focus keyword was found 3 times. What this is basically saying right now is that we haven't used the phrase top tips for WordPress security enough times in the article. So in order to get this to turn green, we'll have to apply the phrase top tips for WordPress security a few more times in the article, and it may not make sense. Because anyone who is reading the article will keep on saying top tips for WordPress security. The next paragraph, they'll see top tips for WordPress security. It will just become too obvious that you're trying to optimize your content for the Google search engine as opposed to optimizing the content for the user experience. And that's a big mistake. You should always write your articles for your audience first, and then write the articles for your search engines. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We have optimized our content for SEO. I can go ahead now and save the draft because we still have to try and optimize it for the readability as well. So thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next class. Alright, so in the previous video, we successfully optimized our content for SEO, and as a result, we got the green score for the SEO, but our readability is still set to orange, which means okay. So let's see how we could possibly improve this. Let's come all the way down here. You're going to see the readability section, so you can click in there. And now what we have here is the analysis. So we have some green and then we have some red. So what do we have here? We have for the 3.2% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, which is more than the recommended maximum of 25%. Try to shorten the sentences. Okay. The next one here is 25.6% of the sentences contain passive voice, which is more than the recommended maximum of 10%. Okay. Now, if you click on any one of these links, like click on passive voice as an example, this will take you to the Yoast blog where you can read more about passive voice and how you can write better, how you can change it to an active voice. Also, when you click on the I next to each result, it will highlight where in your article you are making that particular error in. So as an example, if I click on the I for the sentences contain more than 20 words and I scroll back up, you can now see where we have paragraphs and sentences containing more than 20 words. Same thing with the passive voice analysis as well. Now here's the thing, okay? My personal advice to you is don't let these kinds of analysis affect the way you write. Sure, yeah, when it comes to the issue of passive voice and active voice, maybe you can do a better job of trying to write in the active voice as opposed to the passive voice. But in analysis like, oh, this sentence contains more than 20 words, unless it's very extreme, maybe where you have maybe 30 words, maybe 40 words in a single sentence, then yeah, maybe you might want to try to see how you can make that better. However, In instances like this where we have possibly, this might happen, maybe 21 or 22 words, don't bother yourself. As long as your content is really good and it makes sense and people are actually learning, no one is going to care whether your sentence has 21 words or if it has 25 words. No one is even going to count. Okay? Remember that you're writing your articles for people. As long as you can read the article and an average person can actually read the article and understand what's going on, you're fine. Okay? Again, don't obsess with trying to get your readability score to green. There are many of my articles that are set to orange and people still read them. People still love the articles because the articles still make sense. Again, no one is going to bother about, oh my gosh, this author wrote this sentence in the passive voice, so I'm not going to read it. It's a horrible article. No. No one cares about that. As long as your content makes sense, the information is useful, people will overlook things like that, okay? So it's really up to you. I can't say whether it's bad or good for you to try and fix these things. My only concern is that when you have a particular style of writing and people have come to recognize that style from you, when you begin getting all very analytical with the kinds of words you use, how many words are contained in a sentence, it might affect your natural way of writing. So be careful, okay? Don't get too obsessed with trying to get your readability score to green. All right, so that's basically it for the readability scores with the Yoast SEO plugin. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching the video, and as always, I will see you in the next class. All right, one thing I should mention before we begin to round up is that you can also do your keyword analysis and research right from your back end over here. You will see the Y icon on top here. So when you hover over that, you will see the keyword research tool, and we do have 3 different services. We have the AdWords external. If you want to pay for AdWords, you can do your research with the AdWords external service. We have the Google Trends, which you can click on, and then of course you can do your analysis of how popular your keywords are going to be. And then there's also the SEO book, which is actually a free and it's a free alternative to the Google AdWords Key Planner tool. So if you haven't heard about it, it's pretty good. Some people don't like it, some people like it, but you can come over here right now and read more about it. You'll have to create an account with them first of all, and they do actually have a video all the way down here where you can watch more on how to use the service. It's a bit old though. This was made back in 2011, but I think the service is still pretty relevant and you can still do some pretty cool stuff with it. So that's it for the keyword analysis services for Yoast SEO. And of course, you also have access to the SEO settings from here as well, just in case, if you wanted to change anything, you have access over here as well. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next class. All right, so one last thing we should talk about before we round up is the use of something called the cornerstone content. Now, if you scroll all the way down here to the bottom of your blog post, under the focus keyword tab, you will see this checkbox asking if this article is cornerstone content. Now, this is a relatively new feature that Yoast SEO provides, and a cornerstone article is basically one of your very best articles. It is the article that you want to be ranked highest on Google. All right, and the idea behind this here is, let's say, for example, you've written 10 different blog posts about a very similar topic. You would typically want one of those articles to be your best article, the one that you want Google to choose. Otherwise, all those your 10 articles will be competing with one another for space in the search results. So when you select a particular article to be your cornerstone article, you're basically telling Google that, hey, this is one of the very best articles my entire blog has to offer. So it goes without saying that you should choose your cornerstones very carefully. Think of them as maybe the 4 or 5 pages that you want a visitor to read if they first visit your website. Which articles are the most precious to you? Or which articles are the most complete and authoritative? These are the kinds of articles that you should select as your cornerstone content. And if you click on the link right here, it will take you to the Yoast blog where you can actually read more about what the cornerstone content is and how you can actually write some really good content and then select it as your cornerstone content article. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, I will see you. Congratulations, you've come to the end of the course, and I hope you had a blast. I hope you learned a lot in this course, and hopefully you are now a Yoast SEO expert and you're ready to take your website to the next level using this awesome plugin. I would really appreciate it if you could write a review. If you've enjoyed the course, if you found the content of the course useful, please write a review. It will mean a lot to me. So thank you so much, and I want to wish you all the very best in your SEO journey, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.